When we were debating whether it was possible to receive an abortion pill through the post, we warned at the time that there might be a tragic case like this. And now some people in the abortion industry are using this very tragic case to argue there'll be some sort of legal right for abortion up to birth, given that many babies are surviving at 24 weeks. This is just an obscene and cruel proposal. Surely the solution, given that it's difficult to determine gestation without an in-person appointment, is to return to the system of in-person appointments so women can receive safe, legal abortions if they wish.
Nick Fletcher.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It appears to me every time anyone comes to this place or speaks openly about the rights of the unborn baby, they do tend to get shouted down and jeered at. And I'm pretty sure that this subject will come to this House again in the not too distant future, and I'm pretty sure it will vote to relax these rules. But before it does that, I really do want this House and this country to think of these unborn babies. They are lives. After 6 weeks old, these babies are fully formed. It's just a case of them actually growing, like we continue to do when we're outside the womb. And I also think that we should do all we can to stop and to help people have as fewer unwanted pregnancies as possible, because I'm sure no woman goes to an abortion clinic and has an abortion and does not hate that experience. I'm sure it's something that no woman ever wants to do. So can we just think of those unborn babies, and can we just think of the women that will be having these abortions that really, maybe if we'd have used as contraception or we'd have looked at the things in a different way, these babies wouldn't have happened.
This tragedy would not have occurred had there been a requirement for a face-to-face consultation and clinical administration of the drugs, would it?
Shannon.
Much for his balanced answers. If the Right Honourable Lady thinks that Section 58 should be replaced because it was a law made a long time ago, why is the Honourable Lady not asking for the repeal of all the entire Offences Against the Person Act? The whole Act is old. The age of legislation is irrelevant. What it does is what is important, that is that Section 58 provides a vital protection, not just for the person, but also for the most vulnerable person of all, the unborn child. So will the Minister commit to protect the sanctity of life as other developed European nations where the average is 14 weeks, and instead uphold Section 58? And will the Minister now urgently review safeguards to the pills by post scheme to ensure that such a case doesn't ever happen again?
Blackman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Regardless of one's views on abortion, surely it must be that those women seeking an abortion get proper medical advice so that their health, the health of the unborn child, are protected.
Speaker, can I start by joining the Minister in expressing our condolences to the people in Nottingham? I had the honour of meeting Grace Kumar O'Malley when she and her father were part of the vaccination effort in my local community. She was a wonderful young woman who clearly had a very bright future ahead of her. The 67 prosecutions in the last 10 years under this legislation and the conviction that we have seen in England and Wales shows us it is not a theoretical issue to consider whether women in England and Wales have a legal right to an abortion. They don't. They have a situation where they are exempted from prosecution. A situation that is completely different in Northern Ireland, where this House voted to implement a human rights approach and give women in Northern Ireland a human right, something the Minister himself did not oppose when it came before this House. Has the Minister had any legal advice as to the inequality in the ability of women within the UK, therefore, to exercise their human right to choose what happens to their bodies?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am hopeful that the Minister will be bringing forward something soon in order that we can discuss this, as it's been raised by colleagues on all sides of the House, the need to have that modern discussion, that's something that is fact-based. And I would ask him if he would ask his colleagues on his side of the House to ensure that when we have those discussions, that they're done in a way where male colleagues aren't speculating about what might be in a woman's mind when she goes to seek treatment of this kind.